Guys, it's fall. That means that it's time for the pumpkin flavored foods, and I've made a few here. I did a cheesecake, which was delicious. You guys liked that one. I did a wings recipe, which you guys hated the concept of and no one watched. I can't blame you. It was a weird concept. They actually were tasty. You should go check it out. But today we are doing cottage cheese pumpkin cookies, and these are gonna be delicious. And listen, pumpkin cookies are trending right now, so it should be something you want. I know I want it, and we're gonna see if it's amazing. We're gonna start off by blending our wet ingredients in like a little food processor. It could be like a Ninja, it could be something else, whatever you prefer. And the first thing we want in our ingredients was 3/4 cups of cottage cheese. I will say I'm kind of hoping these are like sort of a crumble cookie consistency, or like, you know, those like really gross cookies at Walmart that have like the blue frosting, but somehow everyone buys them. I think kids like them. The ones that are super sweet and like powdery and chalky. I don't know, a lot of people eat those. So like, but I do like the texture of those kind of, but not really the flavor. So we're starting off with 3/4 cups of cottage cheese, unstrained. Then we're gonna get, oh, why is my can opener not working? Come on, can opener, you can do it. I believe in you, buddy. This is pumpkin puree, unsweetened pumpkin puree. We're gonna add that to the mix as well. And we're just going to do 1/3 cup of that. Oh my gosh, ooh, dang it. So my birthday just happened, guys. My birthday just happened. Why is it so hard to eat good on your birthday? 1/3 cup. Maybe it's just years and years of training of pumpkin puree. Training to eat like crap on my birthday. And that's what's made it difficult for me to not cheat on my birthday. We're then gonna take a large egg and add it in to the same little blender thingy. Now I will say I didn't do that bad when it came to like keto, but calories was terrible. All right, so I just added an egg. I'm not sure if I told you I was doing it, but I'm sure you saw it. And then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Yeah, I did the math. I had like 3,500 calories on my birthday. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just doing a 1/2 teaspoon of 2 times. And we're gonna blend this until completely smooth. Get off the little tip there. There we go. Like so. Hey guys, Dave here, and I'm super pumped because I just got my box in from Wildgrain. I don't know if you've heard of Wildgrain, but it's a really cool company that sponsored this video. UPS, on the other hand, did not. Look at how they squished my box. Hopefully everything's safe inside. We're gonna open it up and kind of go through what we got. But this is really cool. This is the first ever Bake from Frozen subscription box. So we're talking about all types of amazing items. Oh man, UPS, dang it. Well, that's all right. It looks like the food is safe. Yeah, the food itself looks good. So we got some nice croissants here. We've got some butternut squash and cheese ravioli. That's nice for fall. We've got the churned French butter. Ooh, that sounds really good. Sourdough harvest bread. The apple cider donuts. Slow fermented olive oil ciabatta bread, and pumpkin cinnamon biscuits. So listen, I love the idea of subscription boxes. I've done a bunch of them in my life, and I think they're great, not only for me, but for gifts. So I think this would be a perfect gift, honestly, for my mom, to have this arrive at her door and all these really fun things that she can just throw in the oven and have fresh baked goods in the house. I mean, you can't beat that, but you put them right in the freezer when you get them. And then when you or your family is craving one of those items, just pull it out, put it in the oven, and it cooks up perfect. So I have made the apple donuts, and my daughter said they were the best donuts she's ever had, which is really cool because it was so easy. I just put them in the oven and they cooked up. Like a lot of subscription boxes, you can customize it before they send it your way, or just let them send it to you as is. They also told me that every time you order a box, you can elect to donate 2 free meals to a nonprofit of your choice at no extra cost, which is really sweet. If you want to check out Wildgrain, be sure to click my link down below, which is simply wildgrain.com/cookingwithdave. Use code cookingwithdave at checkout. You're going to save $30 off your first box, plus get free croissants for life as long as you stay subscribed. And finally, they do have options. They have the original, the plant-based, and the gluten-free. So I would definitely at least click the link down below, check out their site, see if they have something that works for you, and don't forget to use that coupon code. Okay, so let's take a look. Oh yeah, look how smooth that is. There's one little bit of pumpkin there. But yeah, look at that. That's like perfect. I'll show you up close. Looks pretty good. So we'll set that aside and work on our dry. So for the dry ingredients, we want 1.5 cups of superfine flour. And yes, this is super fine. Look at it, it's so fine. It says it right on the front, super fine. I'm using a 2/3 measuring cup, and if my elementary school math is right, 2/3 times 2 is 1.5. Either way, we got there. We're then gonna do a 1/4 cup of protein powder, vanilla flavored protein powder. I've told you guys I'm trying to increase my protein intake. So I did buy this. Okay, apparently that's not how you open it. I just damaged it. It's all good. How do you open this thing? Got it. Oh, wow, that's false advertising. Look how empty that thing is. Although I'm sure it's the amount they said it was. A quarter cup of protein powder, vanilla flavored, is gonna help your macros. There's probably something we could sub if you don't have any though. I don't really know what we could put in place of protein powder if you don't have any, but someone in the comments who's really good at cooking, let us know if someone doesn't wanna do the protein powder, what they could replace that with. I'm not sure. We then want to do 1 teaspoon of baking powder, like that, half and a half. Then we're gonna add 1/8 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum, which is like a binder. This should be pretty good. Then, I mean, literally, it's as easy as that. A teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. We then need a sweetener, so I'm gonna use my Swerve. I'm not sponsored by Swerve. Someone asked me that, but I just have the Swerve. So it's not really a sponsored thing, it's just what I've been using lately. So we want 2 tablespoons of the powdered Swerve. This is a confectioner one. Level that off. Oh wait, this is one of those weird measuring spoons that's like adjustable. 1, 2 tablespoons of that. And then 1/4 cup of the granular Swerve, which is more like your normal sugar Dexter? Have you ever seen the show Dexter? All right, we're then gonna do this. Now I like pumpkin spice. I like pumpkin flavored things. So I'm always down for it. I will say there's a few that I'm not into if it's too pumpkin-y, but generally I like it. So we're mixing all the dry ingredients up, get them nice and blentified. And then we're gonna add in our wet ingredients, which are right here. Ooh, look at that. I love that color, that orange color. Get it all out. Do you know what this kind of reminds me of, honestly, is eggnog. Just like the smells I'm smelling right now. They definitely maybe share some ingredients. Now we're gonna see what happens when we mix this together. We don't want it too wet or too dry. We want it to be just right. Kind of like, what was that story? 3 Little Pigs? No. The one where she goes and sleeps on the bear's beds. And the one bed is just comfy enough. I know you want me to use a whisk. This is like a whisk. I don't know if a whisk is the right tool, honestly. So here's what I've decided. I had an epiphany, guys. I had a bit of an epiphany. My epiphany was that when it comes to decorating for the holidays, a weird epiphany, your house has a big factor in whether or not you're willing to decorate it. This is my random thought of the day. Because I'm in this new house, as you know, if you look at my old videos, the kitchen is different than the old kitchen and all that stuff. So I'm in a new house, and this house is like built for decorating. Got all these bushes out front that's super easy to just lay lights on. It's just perfectly set up. My old house, I had to do like the Clark Griswold with a big tall ladder and, you know, risk life or death just to put lights up. On this one, it's not like that. So it's really nice. So I actually went all out and set up some like purple lights and some orange lights outside for October, and I like them. All right, so we're gonna take a piece, what's it called? Piece of parchment paper and set it onto our moderately clean cookie sheet. Not fully clean, just moderately clean. Beautiful. Then we're gonna take 2 tablespoons of dough, kind of flatten that off, and hopefully just kind of maybe dump them out or drop them out. I'm not really sure. I've never made these before. That's half the fun, like this. But yeah, and I feel like I could decorate for the other holidays really easy too. Pull those lights down, grab some other colors, and we're good to go. Now I'm not sure if I'm supposed to flatten these or what. This measuring thing I'm using is literally 2 tablespoons, which is super convenient. You could just use a 1 tablespoon measuring thing twice, or you could eyeball it. You're in charge. Charles in charge. All right, 1 more maybe. So my yield looks like it's gonna be 10. So I am going to attempt, wish me luck, to kind of flatten these out a little bit. Yeah, see, it's sticking to it. That was my concern. Yeah, it's not that bad. See what I'm doing here? I'm just kind of making them into cookies. Otherwise, they're gonna be like pumpkin puffs, you know? Oh, see, there's also the concern of squishing them down too much and then them just being stuck to the parchment paper. I didn't think about that. Oh, no, okay, that one's a nightmare. We'll deal with that one later. This might have been a bad idea, the flattening them. Well, whatever. We're committed now. Those are gonna go into the oven, 325 degrees. Hopefully this works. We gotta make our frosting still for 18 to 22 minutes. 325, 18 to 25 minutes, and then we're gonna work on the frosting while they cook up. My little mixer thingy is being difficult. The thing keeps trying to fall out. Is it gonna fall out? See, what the heck? Stay in, you. Is there like a locking mechanism? No, that's a popper outer. Whatever, we'll make it work. All right, so for our frosting, we want 3 ounces of cream cheese. You know what we have going on here? It's a boil water notice. You ever heard of that? That was a terrible cut. They're like, someone came out and like cut a line in the neighborhood. And when they did that, the water went off for like a day, which was fairly annoying. And then afterwards they have this boil water notice, which, I mean, I guess it means you're not even supposed to use the stuff you wash with the water unless you like boil it or use the dishwasher. So I had went in and hand washed a bunch of dishes and I was like, Tina, where are the dishes? That's my wife. She was like, they're in the dishwasher. You can't use them just by hand washing them. So I was like, oh. So whatever, that's fine. I've got 3 ounces of cream cheese, slightly softened, a tablespoon or 2, it's up to you, of confectioner's sweetener, confectioner's Swerve, and then a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, just a basic cream cheese icing for these cookies. Because, you know, if we wanted to have like that crumble pumpkin cookie feel, I think that's gonna be key. So I'm probably gonna, let's see if this works. No, we'll just use 1. It's fine. I'm now gonna add just about a tablespoon of heavy cream to the icing as well. Mix it up, there we go. All right guys, so our cookies have come out of the oven. They look pretty good. Check this out. Give you an extreme close up here. I don't know if it's in focus. I always have trouble getting this in focus, or maybe I'll show you on this camera. This camera's better anyways. That's what they look like. As you'll remember, we made some frosting. Now here's the thing, I tasted the frosting. It wasn't sweet enough for me. So I added a whole nother tablespoon of the powdered Swerve and a little more cream to make it a nice texture. And then I tasted it again and it was a sweet treat. And so you can do that, just add a little more cream, a little more of the sugar and get it to a texture you like. Look at that. Keto cottage cheese pumpkin spice cookie. Happy fall, y'all. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, it's so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's not like a trend on TikTok. It's perfect. This is delicious. So it's got like the texture of a crumble cookie. The frosting is just like the frosting on like a delicious crumble cookie or something. I mean, it's just so good. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, guys. These are awesome. If you like anything pumpkin spice or anything like that, definitely make these. Don't skip the frosting. It's delicious. If you like this video, guys, hit the subscribe, hit the like, comment. That helps me out. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.